This is April 15, Squared Circle, and I am back once again.
I'm here with Jacob Zimmerman. I'm John Zimmerman. Tonight, yes, it is Monday, April 15, 2013. We're 2 weeks removed from WrestleMania. I apologize for not being here last week. That was the first show that I've actually missed since joining the crew here. We got a lot to go over today. Last week, I want to thank Jacob for stopping in and filling in my spot, and also Lucifer Lords, our special guest from PWA. Coming up soon, also from PWA, we've got Wrecking Ball Legursky, the one-man wrecking crew, PWA's newest mega giant from Hoboken, New Jersey. He's 6'5", over 400 pounds. Just a massive, massive wrecking ball of a human being. Unbelievable. I've seen this man in action in the training ring, and he's just going to plow through the entire card of PWA, and there's no stopping him from there. What happened this week on Raw? What's going on?
John Cena is awesome, and he defeated Mark Henry because he's awesome.
John Cena did defeat Mark Henry. We're going to see more of that feud coming up.
Dolph Ziggler cashes in the Money in the Bank.
Dolph Ziggler, as predicted, we did predict at WrestleMania Dolph Ziggler would cash in his Money in the Bank, and they saved it just for one night later. Dolph Ziggler is now the champion, having defeated... Go ahead.
Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto Del Rio.
Even Dolph Ziggler was wrong. He said he was going to cash it in before WrestleMania.
Well, he cashed in the Money in the Bank finally, and he is the champion. Before we move any further, today I want to acknowledge in Boston, where I was last week because I missed the show. I was at Fenway Park, and just a short walk from Fenway Park earlier today, some bombs went off during the Boston Marathon, at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Obviously a calculated move. And a friend of the show, actually, our Tuesday night show, talking with Tom, Ed McCarver was actually at the marathon with his son, and luckily he's okay.
100 feet away from the bombs.
He was 100 yards away from where the explosions hit. And had it been a few moments difference, he would have been right in the melee. And we're just so happy that he's okay, and we pray for all the people that that were affected by this. And the numbers are growing as we speak on the number of wounded. And at the moment, there's 2 confirmed dead, and more than likely from the injuries sustained, that number is going to rise as well. And longtime Boston fans, we were just saddened by this, and the Bruins game for tonight has been canceled, and actually the Red Sox are going on the road, so they may not be affected by this, but at least emotionally they're going to be affected by it, and it's just a tragic event, and I hate to see this happen. And as you saw at the very beginning of the show, that opinions are exclusively my own, and Obama, your gun ban did not prevent this from happening. So it's not the assault weapons, it's not a handgun ban that's going to stop the terrorist attacks, and you got to come up with a better solution, and by not allowing me to defend myself in my own home, you're not going to solve the problem here. The terrorists are going to do what they're going to do.
Go back to wrestling.
So, getting back to wrestling, I'm sorry, that's my soapbox moment for the evening. And again, that was my opinion only. PWA.
It's awesome.
Right. Let's get to the most important thing on the agenda tonight. Fall of the Cards is coming up at the National Guard Armory in Gardner, Massachusetts, April 20th. That's this Saturday, yes. And tell me some of the people that are going to be on the card.
So far, there are 3 people. It will be Lucifer Lords defending his PWA International Championship against Grim Reaper. Lil Schmidt will face Tina San Antonio, and a lethal lottery. It will be debuting Wrecking Ball and his partner TKO in this tournament, facing Pedro Andonis III and Mega Morte. Then Nocturne and Buzz Busso, who got stripped of the tag team titles, facing, also debuting, Dancing Gorilla and
King Swipes.
King Swice, and that's a tournament for the brand new PWA Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, for those of you following, Little Schmidt made himself commissioner of the PWA, and he stripped the tag team titles from Nocturne and Buzz Bloodsaw, and he set up a tournament, a tag team tournament, to determine the new tag team champions. And our guest is going to be part of that tournament. Wrecking Ball Legursky is going to team up with TKO. He's going to face, in the first round, Pedro Wandones III and Mega Muerte. So Mega Muerte and Wrecking Ball Legursky, the proverbial immovable object meets the inevitable force. And we will definitely see who's going to triumph in that match. But two giant men definitely are going to rock the whole ring and possibly tear it down, as we've seen Mark Henry do. Speaking of Mark Henry,
No
and
superplexes.
Little Schmidt is making a name for himself as a commissioner, and he made himself a match against Tina San Antonio. I believe it's, yes, the PWA. It's the first intergender match of PWA, if you want to count Pedro Wandones in drag one time. But it should be a great match, and again, that's April 20th, this Saturday at the National Guard Armory in Gardner, Mass. And for those of you that can't make it to Massachusetts, Saturday, May 18th, only a month away, they're going to be back. PWA is going to be back at Positive Place in Shelton, Connecticut at the Boys and Girls Club. That show is called A New Hope, The Saga Continues. So we're going to see the fallout from what happens on April 20th and the tag team tournament. Right now, I want to introduce everyone to the largest and newest member of the PWA crew from Hoboken, New Jersey, the Wrecking Ball Legursky, the one-man wrecking crew himself. Wrecking Ball.
This Saturday, the Wrecking Ball begins his path of destruction. Wrecking Ball Legursky will destroy the competition. Mega Muerte, you think you're big, you think you're bad. You're death? You're death? Legursky laughs at death! Legursky will destroy you. Wrecking Ball Legursky has come to do two things this Saturday. Number one, that is to hurt people. Number two, that is to leave with tag team gold. At the end of the night, after the fall of the cards, Wrecking Ball Legursky and TKO will be the new PWA Tag Team Champions!
Wow. Oh, that's quite the...
Wow, what an intense character.
Right, quite the intensity out of Wrecking Ball. As you see, Jason has arrived.
Yes.
Finally.
I'm finally here. I just got back from overseas. An old friend of mine wound up getting himself in a Turkish prison.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Never been in one of those places, man.
No, I did see Midnight Express, and I will never, ever, ever live that movie out in reality.
I had to, I got contacts all over the place. I had to go, and it's ugly.
All over the world.
Yeah.
As you see, we have the Wrecking Ball on, and the intensity in this room is scary right now. What do we got going on here?
I don't really have that much tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just have Monday Night Raw coming from Greenville, South Carolina.
Yep.
On after us, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. I guess they're going to start getting ready for. We're done with WrestleMania now, so now it's time for Extreme Rules.
Yep.
They'll start talking about that. And what did you make of Ryback last week? Is this a babyface versus babyface, or is this is Ryback turning heel?
I don't think they're going to turn Ryback heel. He's getting too much crowd reaction. He's definitely over with the crowd, and once you turn him heel, especially this quick into his character, I think it would just backfire on him. Just leave him the way he is until he loses some of that steam, and then you can make some changes with him.
Yeah.
But right now, why mess with perfection?
Right now, he simply wants a title shot, I think, at the new champion, John Cena. Somehow, I guess Mark Henry is also going to be wanting a title shot.
Right. And
somehow.
I think we may see a three-way dance at Extreme Rules somehow.
They're also floating The Rock's name around, even though...
let The Rock go off and make his movies, please. I want to see the everyday guys get their shot at it. This guy comes in, he takes, he gets the title, and then he leaves. And it's like...
And I don't understand
it's
this one website I looked at this morning.
Yeah.
On the plane on the way back home. It's really making it sound like The Rock really got injured, and he consulted with his doctors. They decided not to have they decided not to have surgery after the main event last Sunday, because I guess some of the risks include tissue scar formation, and that could limit his ability to perhaps wrestle ever again in the future, or more importantly for Dwayne Johnson, make movies.
Right. Yeah.
Do you really believe he's really injured, or this?
Well, let's face it. Dwayne Johnson is going to do what's best for Dwayne Johnson, regardless of how we feel about it or how WWE feels about it. When he's making movies, he's got stunt doubles that can handle the action, so he's going to do. He's going to handle.
I don't think it really changes anything.
His health, to benefit himself.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to see him well. We don't want to see anything bad happen to him, but it is what it is. The Rock is going to go off and do his movies, and as great of a talent that he was during the Attitude Era, all right, your time has come and gone. I just don't like the idea that he comes in as a fair weather, and it's not just The Rock. At some point we're going to see Stone Cold come back and steal the spotlight from the guys that are there every day. And it's like,
it
it's
doesn't
like
really happen too much with Austin.
It's like you're there for your family every day of the year, and then your cousin comes in from East Bufu, Idaho, and everyone's like, oh, cousin Louie's here, and you're like, you know what? I'm here every day for you. I take care of you every day, and then all of a sudden it's a big deal that this long lost cousin comes home, and then he goes off and goes back to his own private land, and I'm still here with you every day. And that's how I feel about these guys that come in and out, hey, as much as we can rag on John Cena, he's there every day, and he's made that point. He's there week in and week out, and your champion should be on the show every week.
It's true. If he's the face of the company revolves around him, so he should be on everything.
And it's not just, like I said, it's not just The Rock. It's anybody. If you're a WWE superstar, then you should be in the WWE week in and week out. Whether your role can increase and decrease as your character develops. But you should be there and you should be available. And the fans come out and they expect to see you. Last week on Raw, everyone expected Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to be there, and people bought tickets for that Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, assuming that he was going to be there.
And he got on a plane.
Yeah, and he wasn't
left.
there. Not even via satellite or anything. He just wasn't there.
I think it's really cold.
Yeah, and especially for the kids and stuff that want to see. You want to see the champion. At that point, he wasn't. But leading up to WrestleMania, people want to see the champion. You don't want to see him on a video screen. I can stay home for that. If I'm going to buy tickets for a live event, then I expect the guy to be there too. If you want my money, you got to give me something for it. And speaking of which, right, this Friday, tickets are going on sale for Monday Night Raw at the XL Center, which would be June 3rd, I believe.
Wow.
Monday Night Raw is coming back to Connecticut, the XL Center in Hartford.
June 3rd.
And tickets are going on sale this Friday at 10 a.m.
I'm going to be getting some nephews of mine calling me up, I'm sure. Uncle Jay, can we go to Monday Night Raw?
Yeah.
I know what's going to happen.
Well, I'm sure your luxury box is going to be filled
Of
to
course.
capacity.
It always is.
I never get into that luxury box. He's got so many hangers on that the co-host can't even get in. I have to buy the cheap seats. So
Yeah, I invited you to my party for WrestleMania, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to...
Oh yeah, well WrestleMania, I had to go look at the go see watch it at Hooters, I should say. But yeah, we did have a good time for WrestleMania, and I appreciate the invite. But maybe I'll get in the luxury box on June 3rd at the XL Center. Definitely, we'll be there, right? I'll definitely be there. Jason will be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be walking around, and I'm sure some of the members of PWA, if they're available, will be floating around. Because I know the last house show in Bridgeport Harbor Yard, the guys from PWA were floating around, passing out some flyers for their card, which is, you know,
It's coming up this Saturday?
coming up this Saturday, and I have to say, and I've said it on the show before, Lucifer Lords and Buzz Bloodsaw at the last card that PWA had in Shelton put on a 25-minute match that you know what, I will tell you, I'll stack that up against anything TNA's got on the air and anything WWE's got on the air right now. It was just a quality wrestling match from start to finish. There was no rest spots, and these guys just really let it all hang out. And it was, you know what, that Rock Cena match at WrestleMania, just erase that videotape and show this.
You get more action out of an indie, I think.
Right, and coming up on April 20th, which we failed to mention so far, AR Fox. AR Fox is going to fight Joseph Von Schmidt once again.
AR
a rematch. And last year, AR Fox and Joseph Von Schmidt put on what I thought was match of the year, December 1st, I believe it was, in Shelton at the PWA. And I got to tell you, if you haven't seen AR Fox, go onto YouTube, type in ARFOX, AR Fox, and look at it. There's a clip of his 30 greatest moves. If that doesn't just shock and awe, then you know what? You don't know what wrestling is. You have not seen anything until you've seen AR Fox. Let's get some reaction from Mr. Wrecking Ball Legursky about some of the other members in PWA. What's your thoughts on them? You know, who after you destroy Mega Muerte, of course, who do you think is going to be next? Who are you going to call out? Who's going to be your challenge? Wrecking Ball.
It doesn't matter who's next. The Wrecking Ball will destroy all, no matter how big, how small, how long they've been in the industry. The Wrecking Ball will destroy all.
Well, that's certainly a challenge to everyone
I think
out there.
we found our square circle security guard now.
Yeah, there we go. I think
We
we'll
may have to make him an offer on the side.
Yeah, maybe he'll have to guard our luxury box over at the XL Center there.
Because, you know, we got that North Haven, you know, those masked guys. You remember?
Yeah, well, the North Haven crew of Aces and Eights that have abducted you on a couple of occasions and done some damage. Yeah, we definitely need some protection.
Yes.
And you know what? I mean, not for nothing. Ryback is a joke compared to this gentleman here. This gentleman is so much more convincing. He doesn't need to, you know, have his little, you know, action
He's
figure
sitting there,
arms going.
he's quiet.
You know,
He's got this cold look.
This cold rage. This cold rage happening. I can feel
He's just staring like into a blue.
the energy coming off of him. But
It's amazing.
yeah, you know, I mean, I've got action figures that have more arm motion than the Ryback. But
Well, he reminds me of the guy in that commercial. I lift things up and I put them down.
Ryback, yeah.
Yeah.
I lift these up, but I put them down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jacob, who was just sitting here, has the Ryback action figure, and he had a match between the Ryback action figure and the Skip Sheffield action figure. And
Which is basically, is it the same person,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's a split personality.
Yeah, and they both bored each other to death.
Wow.
And the action figures actually had more charisma than the real guy.
Wow.
But yeah, the PWA Fall of the Cards, Buzz Bloodsaw again to be in action. Candy Cartwright, God knows how gorgeous she is. And
A
Tina,
lovely Candy Cartwright.
my personal favorite, Tina San Antonio, fellow Prince fan. Prince, go Prince. And again, Grim Reaper is going to be fighting for the title against Lucifer Lords. You're going to see Nocturne in tag team action again. It's incredible. Tommy Mack.
A heart attack.
He was still in the running for Gut Check, I believe. Pardon?
May 6th vote in his bracket on TNA.
May 6th, vote for Heart Attack Tommy Mack in TNA. See what Connecticut's own get into the national scene.
That would be great if he got in there, and we have another Connecticut, two other Connecticut natives in TNA.
Yeah.
We have Matt Morgan
Yep.
and the lovely Knockouts champion Velvet Sky.
Velvet Sky. Yeah, I've spent a little time with Velvet Sky, and she's a gorgeous lady and a very, very wonderful person to meet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You had an announcement. Our sister show had
Yeah.
a little event.
A little event Thursday night. I want to extend my congratulations on behalf of myself, yourself, our Squared Circle staff. What we saw Thursday night, I am in shock. I cannot believe it, and I'm actually, I'm in shock, but I'm happy. It's a happy kind of shock.
Yeah.
I'll cut right to the chase. The Center Ring Zone Showtime Stevie Stamos proposed to Nikki Nitro, a former guest on the show.
Nikki Nitro, yeah.
He got on his, and I know they've been seeing, hanging together or whatever.
Yeah.
They were at, they went to Ring of Honor, I think.
Yeah.
And they've been seen around. Nikki Nitro, of course, is the newest member of the Platinum Entourage with Jay Busta.
Yep. Well,
So I mean, this is truly amazing. I mean,
right here.
that's what I get.
we've had-
That's what I get for not showing up at Center Ring.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been you.
I show up at Center Ring and they put me to work
Yep.
because Stamos isn't there and I have to fill in for him and co-host. Not that I mind, but I don't show up and then it's the greatest episode of Center Ring ever.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, we've seen quite a few marriages in wrestling. You had Randy and Elizabeth. You just had Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan.
Yeah.
Well, you almost had AJ and Daniel Bryan.
Vicky, how many times?
We had Vicky Guerrero and Edge and Lita and Kane. We've had quite a few wrestling.
Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss
I
Elizabeth.
started with that. Yeah, Randy and Elizabeth.
I think that is probably the most famous out of all of them.
Yeah.
That's got to be.
So the wrestling is not immune to affairs of the heart.
But always something happens to ruin the wedding.
So I don't know. I mean, is this a work? Is it an angle? Or I mean, is love truly blossomed?
From what I
between-
understand, he really got on his knee. I have not had any contact with the Fogman
Right.
over the week, but the info I'm gathering is this he really legitimately truly got on his knees.
I think hopefully we'll get an invite to the wedding, and maybe we'll bring some cameras and
Yep.
and hopefully no shenanigans will
And
take place.
hopefully Busta doesn't do something like Taz did with the Brooke and that wedding, and then the Aces and Eights comes out,
Yeah, you'll have to take off your shirt and reveal your cut,
Yeah.
and say, "Well, I'm going to break this up because I'm the leader of the North Haven Aces and Eights."
I'm not the leader of the North Haven. You know that.
Hey, well, stranger things have happened, but again, congratulations to Stevie Stamos and Nikki Nitro. If you want to come on and
Yes.
profess your love, that would be great.
Yeah.
I'm looking for an invite to the wedding, and hopefully no shenanigans will take place, and maybe they'll have an in-ring wedding at one of the events.
Yeah, one of these cards.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know, I mean, they're two great former guests of the show, and you know, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Love is in the air.
So I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna try to attempt to get down to center ring this Thursday night, schedule permitting.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to the actual bottom of this.
Well, we're depending on you
Yes.
to find out the whole scoop.
Mm-hmm.
So, getting back to PWA, again, coming back to Connecticut, Saturday, May 18th, the saga continues. A New Hope. What do you think of this Star Trek reference? Excuse me, Star Wars reference. My geek is off right now.
Your geek is off.
New Hope. The saga continues. Saturday, May 18th. The Boys and Girls Club, Positive Place in Shelton, Connecticut.
Wow.
I'm not sure that we really know what's going to happen because it's all going to rely on April 20th. Wrecking Ball. You have any predictions on Saturday, May 18th? Tell us where it is, what we can expect, and where we can go to get the information.
It's in Shelton, Connecticut on May 18th at the Boys and Girls Club. It's kind of funny. The show is called A New Hope. With the wrecking ball let loose, nobody has hope. Anyone at any time can fall victim to the wrecking ball. I know this. May 18th, the Wrecking Ball will have his tag team gold, and he will be defending it to anyone who dares step in the ring with 400 pounds of raw diesel power.
Wrecking Ball, what do you think of Little Schmidt as commissioner? Do you think his reign is going to last? Do you think he's making great decisions?
Little Schmidt has made a great decision. He brought the Wrecking Ball in. He knows that things needed to be shaken up. And boy, did he do that when he brought the Wrecking Ball in.
Wow, that's quite the prediction. Whew.
This is a one-man shield.
Oh, yeah. He's the one-man wrecking crew.
The one-man wrecking crew.
Absolutely. The Wrecking Ball is going to destroy all that comes in his path.
I think he could take out the Shield.
Yeah, oh,
I
definitely.
think he could take out Aces and Eights.
Single-handedly, definitely. Yeah, he came all the way from Hoboken, New Jersey to join us here, and I'll tell you, the path of destruction that is behind him, you know, the highway in you know, the Jersey Parkway may never be the same.
May not.
So, definitely, you guys got to head out. PWA, local wrestling is where it's at. These guys put on a show unparalleled. You know, you're not going to see the lights and fireworks and craziness. You know, the circus act. You're
No.
going to see real wrestling.
They got their own version of the Titantron, though.
Right. You're going to see real wrestling, in-ring performance, where the focus should be. And you're going to see family-friendly atmosphere. You're going to be able to, you know, interact with these guys up
Yeah.
close and personal, autographs, pictures.
Places like that, it's young talent, and they're honing their skills. They're learning their craft.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot of time for being on the microphone and cutting big, huge 15-minute promos with some other guy coming out and counteracting the promo,
Yeah.
which is basically the first hour of Raw every week.
Well, you know, I mean, Raw is basically a lot of talk and no action. And when you go to PWA, it's a lot of action and very little talk. So, you know, it depends on how you like your steak cooked. If you want it boring,
Yeah, no.
you know, and overcooked, then go watch.
I like my steak well done.
Yeah, and you know what?
Medium well.
These guys are better than well done. These guys are definitely well done to the extreme.
Yeah, there's other cards coming up too. We have Saturday, May 4th. the Brico Mania 5. It was,
Rico Mania.
He, really a really original name, Joseph Brico. I gotta hand it to you. But Bethany Town Hall, Bethany, Connecticut. It's also going to be available live on internet pay-per-view, and then also, see, Fogman knows where, like, he can tell you every single indie show in the whole country practically for one particular weekend. But NAFW Battleground, May 11th, featuring former TNA stars Amazing Red and Homicide at the Boys and Girls Club in Chicopee, Massachusetts.
Which you still haven't found.
Which I still haven't found. Now that I have a brand new car out there, I mean, aces and eights, I'm not even going to say which one it is. They're just going to have to guess. So that means, I guess, they're just going to have to destroy every single car in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they don't hit mine. Well, they can take mine, please. I need another one. Well, what else is coming up?
That's about all I have for now.
Chicopee? Yeah.
Chicopee, we always have a great time up there.
Oh, yeah. NEFW, I mean, as much as we joke, those guys are as talented as PWA, and of course our CTWE. Nocturne is a former CTWE talent, so obviously, the Connecticut guys and the local Mass as well.
Yep.
They put on a great show, and it's reasonably priced, and it's just a lot of fun.
NAFW is going to have a tournament to crown the new World Heavyweight Champion.
Wow.
From what I understand. Mr. Christian Frost is no longer with the company.
Right.
As far as I know, and so that'll be good. Also, I think one of the former head shrinkers has also been added to the card. Sam Wu.
Wow. Wow. So they got some, former.
They do tend to bring in some names you haven't seen in years.
Yeah, in quite a while.
Diamond Dallas Page. When he came out, the crowd went wild.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody popped for.
Everybody popped for DDP. Everybody popped for DDP. Chris Camaro, I believe it was, he took a diamond cutter. And DDP showed a video. He's now a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
He has his DDP yoga, which he puts out, and
And right now he's working with not only Jake the Snake Roberts, but Scott Hall. So
wow, that's amazing.
From what I understand, Scott Hall is making some progress and getting himself clean and sober, and hopefully, getting himself back together, which is a great thing to see, because if anyone saw that video of him entering the ring and when he was completely out of his mind, wasted, it was just an embarrassment, not only to himself, but to the promotion that allowed him to walk out into the ring like that. And
what promotion was this? Because I can't understand why any.
Well, I won't. It wasn't one of the promotions that we are affiliated with.
No,
here.
of course not.
And I guarantee you that Joseph Von Schmidt and the Von Schmidt Nation would not allow one of their performers to walk out to the ring in that condition.
Absolutely not.
And it's understandable that you're going to. You advertise this talent and the talent shows up, and it's something that's out of your control. But you know what? You got to make an executive decision. Say, you know what? We're not going to let somebody walk out in the ring in that condition, regardless of your caliber and your name and whether you're top of the card or not, because. It's just an embarrassment, not only to the performer,
exactly,
but to your promotion. You really just put a black mark on the indie.
It's any job for that matter. Why would anybody want to walk into to do their job, their line of work, and any kind of You wouldn't want to cut a lawn after having a few beers at J. Ruse or somewhere.
Yeah. Right. So, it's all a matter of not only personal responsibility, but professional responsibility. And, I'm glad that Scott Hall has, accepted that he does have some issue, and he's, getting some help with it. And hopefully DDP will set him on the right path, and he'll stay, clean and sober.
Exactly. DDP and Scott Hall have a big history.
Oh, yeah. And TDP is not only helping professionals, former professional talents. He's helping the average, the average guy on the street.
Exactly.
And if you go to the DDP website, you can see some really amazing video a gentleman that was well over 500 pounds.
Oh, that's an amazing video.
Yeah.
That's the video he showed when
Yeah.
he came to NAFW that time.
Hey, we got a friend of the show on the phone right now. We're going to go to the phone. Good evening. You're live on the Squared Circle.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mr. Dacey.
The Thunderous One. How are we feeling today?
Fine, thanks. Much better.
Yes.
First of all, I'd like to welcome your guest to the show,
Yeah.
and I have a question for him.
Sure.
I'd like to know who influenced him the most on his career.
All right, we'll cut to Wrecking Ball.
The Wrecking Ball is his own man.
Did you have any wrestling idols growing up?
Bam Bam Bigelow and Vader.
I can see that.
I can definitely see that.
I can see shades of that. Hey, Tom, while I got you on the line, what do we hear from Ed McCarver? He was in Boston today, not only 100 yards from where the explosions hit.
Ed McCarver and his son are fine. He posted on Facebook earlier to let everybody know that they are fine.
Oh, that's a godsend. We really, again, we pray for everybody that was near that explosion, and hopefully we won't lose many more lives.
The last count I heard was 100 injured and 2 dead, and one of the dead is an 8-year-old.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And the irony of ironies is that the last mile was dedicated to the victims of the Newtown tragedy. The Boston Marathon happens to be 26 miles long, and ironically enough, there was 26 victims of the Newtown tragedy, and they dedicated the last mile to the victims of the Newtown tragedy. And then for something like this to happen, it's just unthinkable. Unthinkable.
I did hear that.
Oh, but we appreciate you calling in, and we're glad you're on your road to recovery yourself. And
Yeah.
we wish you all the luck in the world. We miss having you down here, and when you talk to Ed, express we're so glad that him and his son are okay, because I knew he was there today at the marathon, because he's a marathon guy.
Yeah.
And
So am I. I mean, this is,
Well,
Yeah.
Jay, you're running away from the North Haven chapter, aren't you?
What's that again?
The reason you run is you're running away from the North Haven chapter.
Well, yeah, that too. Not just exercise, yeah.
I think he's going to be running away from the Wrecking Ball real soon. But if I find out that this was done by a Yankee fan, it's really on now. But no, in all seriousness, we wish everyone the best, and
Absolutely.
everyone's in our prayers. Tom, thank you for calling.
I just want to let your audience know that the WrestleMania pre-show is on YouTube. Unfortunately, I could not post it to Blip, so it is solely on YouTube.
Okay, I thank you for reminding me. I know you told me to mention that, and I totally blanked out because that's who I am. All right, Tommy, thank you for calling.
Thank you. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Just
Yes.
go ahead.
Our WrestleMania pre-show, which I'm thinking maybe that local biker gang there, I don't know what happened, but we did this thing out, at Gaetano's in Wallingford. We had a
Yep.
great time.
Right before
And-
WrestleMania came on the air. Here we are at Gaetano's, and somehow our signal got jammed. We don't know. There was a big white van out in front, and maybe they had some sort of electronic jamming equipment, but we got the raspberry, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would dare jam us? Raspberry. Only one person would give us the raspberry.
I don't know what it is, There's something strange going on. That
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting colder.
Yeah.
It should be a lot warmer outside
Right.
than it is. I
Right.
mean, what are somebody's trying to mess with the weather patterns or something?
Oh, there is Dr. Freeze, right? Or that's Batman.
But Ice Princess, or that's that show that's on during the day there. Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
But to reiterate, we did film a pre-WrestleMania party, and it is on our YouTube channel, the Squared Circle 18 on YouTube. You can check it out. We had a surprise appearance by a Randy Macho Man Savage lookalike.
I know.
And it was a fantastic moment. We had Lucifer Lords there. We had Little Schmidt on the show, Fogman, obviously you, me. We had a fantastic dinner. Jacob sat at the desk for a little while.
Jordan.
Jordan, yeah,
Back
the return of Jordan Izzo, of course.
Coming out of the woodwork. I haven't, you know,
coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
To sit in on our party, and
One night only.
unfortunately, it wasn't aired live, but you can watch it in a replay on YouTube at your leisure. Watch it often. Watch it many times.
Right.
Get those views up. Come on, guys.
Definitely.
You know, just put it on and
Put
check
it
us
on,
out.
because next year they're having a big party in New Orleans, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll be having a big party again, once again.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to start making plans for a larger party. So we did have a great time. We had a full house. The room was packed, and let me tell you, we had food coming out the ears.
The food from that place is unbelievable.
Yeah, Gaetano's treated us very, very well.
Yep.
And we'll definitely have to go back and rent the whole restaurant out rather than
I
just a
think so.
banquet room. I think we're going to have to expand. We're going to have to get a room for Wrecking Ball himself. And
I think so.
and a buffet just for Wrecking Ball himself. Oh, man. But yeah, check us out on YouTube always.
Definitely.
But,
all our shows get uploaded onto there.
yeah, we're on YouTube. We're also on Blip TV. You can join our the Squared Circle on Facebook. Join our group there, and you'll see not only updates for our show. We update almost daily different news and information regarding local wrestling, professional wrestling.
When the news breaks, you can count on the Squared Circle.
Oh yeah, we got a crack staff. Dylan Zimmerman, I must say, he does quite a lot for our
Yeah, you know,
webpage.
I want to give him a great big hand. You know,
Yeah.
he's, you know,
He's our fact checker, and he corrects us while we're on the air. He corrects
Yep.
all of my mistakes anyway, and it's hard to keep up. And my two guys really help us
Yeah.
out. Dylan and Jacob are
I've been
definitely.
so busy over the weekend. I mean, I really don't have that much information. But there again, this week was kind of slow.
Yeah, it was kind of slow. You know, I mean, we're winding down. Like I said, 2 weeks removed from WrestleMania. I'm interested to see where they're going to go tonight and how they're going to build up. You know, Dylan mentioned earlier that the next one is Extreme Rules, but with the PG going on,
How extreme?
How extreme can we get? You know, it's kind of silly. They should change this. You know, I think you should bring back the TLC, which we haven't done. Maybe a Money in the Bank pay-per-view. You know, I don't think Extreme Rules at this point in the game is really.
I'd like to see them get nostalgic and bring back some of the old WCW pay-per-views. Great American Bash, Halloween Havoc, maybe.
Yeah, Starcade.
I don't know what
That's even going farther back.
Yeah.
But it's something different anyway. Do something we haven't seen in a little while, because Extreme Rules is kind of silly. You know.
Extreme Rules was designed for ECW, which is no longer around.
Yeah, it was more, you know, geared toward the hardcore matches, and with the PG mentality. I mean, you really, like I said, how extreme can you get?
Exactly.
It's kind of vanilla right now.
Yeah, it's kind of laid back rules.
But you know, talking about extreme, right? This gentleman here is just steam coming out of his ears.
A man of few words.
Wrecking Ball, what do you think of extreme? What's your definition of extreme, and how extreme are you going to get on Pedro Juan Dones and Mega Muerte?
The Wrecking Ball is extreme. This head will crack their heads.
Mega Muerte, well, have you squared off against him yet, or is this going to be the first time you meet him in person?
This is gonna be the first time I meet him in person. The Gursky will kill death.
Mega Muerte is death, and if you've ever seen him, he's quite the agile.
These guys work cut out for him.
Yeah, he's quite the agile athlete, And the size of him and the size of Wrecking Ball, I know it's hard to see behind the desk, but Wrecking Ball is quite a large gentleman, 6'5", 400 pounds, and a force to be reckoned with. What is that line? The immovable force meets the...
The irresistible force meets the immovable object.
That's the line. There it is.
Yes.
Once again, the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. That's correct. Gorilla Monsoon, my condolences, and I apologize for messing up your line that many times. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at Hogan versus Andre. You're looking at, like you said, Bam Bam Bigelow.
This is going to be
Earthquake,
bigger. This is going to be bigger than when the Big Show and Brock Lesnar went at it and the ring fell apart.
Yeah. I mean, I would not be surprised to see the ring be wrecked, so to speak. You know, I mean, this guy is no joke. He's not a cartoon character like Wreck-It Ralph. He is the true Wrecking Ball. And when you see him come and get your butt out of the way.
The one-man construction site.
Yeah, one-man wrecking crew.
That's
and he is the Wrecking Ball, and he will be in action not only on April 20th in Gardner, Mass., but he's going to be in action on May 18th in Shelton, Connecticut. Two great shows coming up within a month, within, I'd say, about not even an hour either way from here. Gardner, Mass. is just over the line. Matter of fact, I was there not too long ago, last week. I drove through on my way to Fenway Park.
It's not too far from Chicopee, or
well, we still haven't found Chicopee yet. No, it's just over the line. National Guard Armory, and I'm guessing that Von Schmidt Nation has struck up some sort of relationship with the National Guard, because some of the merch has the National Guard logo on it as well. Wrecking Ball, you know anything about that? National Guard? No? We'll have to contact Joseph Von Schmidt and see what kind of
I know.
shenanigans.
I think it's great move on Von Schmidt's part to have anything to do with the military.
Oh yeah, National Guard. Right now, especially today, are on high alert, and these people just put themselves in harm's way to protect you and I. And in all seriousness, they do it with little compensation.
No.
And here we are. We've got mega millionaires making just like ridiculous money. Just in interest for silliness, and here we are, the military, the National Guard, our school teachers are making pennies on the dollar compared to some of these people that
it's true,
that don't provide any kind of service whatsoever. And we really need to look at this and start making a change, and start appreciating the people that really step up. And if you look at the news today, the police, the fire, FBI, National Guard, I mean, all these guys just were Johnny on the spot right there, and helping everybody out, and getting people to...
And even a certain
EMS.
local radio announcer, from what I understand, going into a burning building this week. Chaz from Chaz and AJ.
I didn't hear that whole story. I heard just caught wind of it.
He went into a burning house to save a cat.
To save a cat. Okay. It's noble.
It is very noble.
I'm not a pet person myself, but
yes,
it's noble. And I'm glad he's okay. But had he gone in and lost his life over a cat, I don't know. But that's only me. That's only me.
I don't think he really would have risked his. If he thought it was going to be that bad, I don't think he would have went in. To be honest.
Yeah.
Right. But
again, the military, fire department, all these guys that you don't think of on a daily basis. They put themselves out there and put their lives on the line, and their families don't know whether they're going to come home today. And the two bombs that went off, and a third at the JFK Library in Boston. Totally unexpected. One goes off, and then the EMS crews and the rescue crews move in, and another bomb goes off. So I mean, they ran right into harm's way without even giving it a second thought.
So we don't have any information as to exactly who's responsible for it.
Nobody's claimed responsibility as of yet, and I'm not even going to take a guess at it because that's just irresponsible. But I hope that this is an isolated thing and it doesn't lead to something larger. And again, all the people that were there, I hope everybody's okay. And Ed, please give us a call if you can. Let us know how you're doing. Give us an update on Facebook.
Definitely.
And we're glad that Ed and his son are okay. But tonight on Raw, do you think they're going to address this at all, being that John Cena is billed from Boston, Massachusetts? Newbury?
I would hope they would say something briefly, at least at some point during the telecast.
Yeah.
Even if it's halfway through.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's very important. It's very important to let the viewing audience know that they care and their sympathies are with the victims and their families, as are ours.
Yes.
Definitely, of course. I think that I could see them mentioning it briefly.
Yeah, I mean, being that their champion is billed from that area, right outside the Boston, Boston area. He's right down the street from Boston.
Definitely.
And I mean, obviously he's touted the Celtic colors, Boston Celtic colors in the green and white.
Oh yeah.
And from the Boston area.
That's it.
They're going to have to make mention of it somehow.
I know.
Even if they have like a moment of silence. But it's just tragedy strikes again.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why things like this have to happen.
Can't we all just get along, please?
Yeah, because I'm a big wrestling fan, but I'm also a big Star Trek fan, and I don't think we'll ever be able to design a rocket that will be able to go into space unless every single country puts their heads together to try to come up with some kind of idea.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Star Trek, and it's an idealistic world and that Gene Roddenberry imagined. And, if you look at the design that Gene Roddenberry came up with, it was really revolutionary at the time. He had not only a bridge crew that comprised, that had all nationalities on it. He had a female, not only a female, an African-American female as a lieutenant in a command position, and in the 60s.
In the 60s.
I mean, that in itself, he had the first interracial kiss on television, which, so, I mean, it's a groundbreaking show, and we've come a long way since then, but we haven't come far enough. You had, Chekhov, a Russian who we were in the middle of the Cold War with.
In the middle of the Cold War.
And here you had a Russian in a command position, working side by side with George Takei, an Asian man.
Yeah, an Asian man 20 years after World War II.
Right, exactly. After the terrible treatment that they had in the internment camps right here. And, I mean, it was an idealistic world that Gene Roddenberry dreamed up and put on the screen. And you would think we would learn something from it. And, as popular as that still is, as Star Trek still is, and, with the new movie coming out, I believe, this summer.
This summer, yeah.
The sequel to the latest J.J. Abrams Star Trek incarnation.
I might be, there's a possibility out in Las Vegas, and I might be attending my first convention.
Star Trek convention. Yeah. As a younger man, I definitely attended a few of the Star Trek conventions, and I met James Doohan, who was Scotty. I met Nichelle Nichols as her.
I'm looking forward to meeting Linda Park, if you know who that is.
Yeah, from Enterprise, I believe.
Enterprise, yes.
Yeah. But, I mentioned George Takei. If you don't follow him on Facebook, you need to follow George Takei on Facebook. Totally un-Star Trek related. He's a funny, entertaining, informative man. He's a huge force in the gay and lesbian community, obviously being a gay man himself. And he's just a real person. You know, he's not a character in any way, but he's funny, he's informative. Follow George Takei on Facebook after you follow us on Facebook, of course.
Definitely got to follow the Squared Circle on Facebook.
We're going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes. Wrecking Ball,
Any
one
final
last
thoughts,
promo.
sir?
Give us tell us where you're going to be, how we can find you. If you're on the internet, if you have a page, all of that social media, happy stuff, go for it.
You can find the Wrecking Ball at facebook.com/WreckingBallLigursky. This Saturday, April 20th, Gardner, Mass. All will fall to the Wrecking Ball!
Well, I think that just about
Amazing.
says it all. Wow. And, you know, if that doesn't get you motivated to go, I don't know what is. I mean, we're going to have to send the Wrecking Ball right to your house and drag your hiney out of bed to get down to Gardner, Mass. And then next month to Shelton, Connecticut. I'm sure we'll have an update after Saturday for next week's show. Wrecking Ball, if you can call in or drop back in, we would love to have you and any of the guys from PWA. It's been so long since we've had Joseph Von Schmidt on the show. I talk to him on a regular basis.
He's due in.
Yeah,
we have to bring him in.
He's due to come back. He was on really early on in the season for us. I want to say like in October.
Right.
Yeah,
One of our first episodes.
yeah, early on when I first came into the show, and it's been a while since we've had Joseph Von Schmidt in, and of course Schmidt happens. I am a proud member of the Von Schmidt Nation, and
Always and forever.
Little Schmidt has been on the show. Buzz Bloodsaw has been on the show.
Lucifer Lawrence filled in for you last week.
Lucifer Lawrence only last week, and he's been on the show, and he's still, at the moment, he's still PWA champion. And we're going to see maybe Wrecking Ball after May. We'll give a shot
Lawrence
at
and
the...
Bloodsaw, they were fighting each other in West Virginia. I saw something about that.
Yeah, they're branching out on their own and getting out there and putting on shows and spreading the word of PWA. You know, and of course Joseph Von Schmidt has been on tour. I believe he's in Europe right now, or he just got back. He's done some dates in Europe. He did a North American tour.
The Pride champion.
And he's the Pride champion at the moment. So not only is Joseph Von Schmidt in PWA, but he's representing it worldwide. So we're definitely spreading the word and getting out there. And you know, you're going to see, I guarantee you, this time next year, you're going to see one of these guys, you know, hitting the big leagues. And
a gut check or
yeah, you're gonna Tommy Max in gut check right
NXT.
now. But we got to wrap it up.
Definitely.
PWA, get out there.
I'm Hollywood J. Williams. Good night and good luck.
I'm John Zimmerman, and pray for everyone in Boston. Thank you. Have a
Definitely.
good evening.